Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a brow routine. I usually like to do my brows once my face makeup is completed, so I did do my face makeup already. I put a lip on and I look really naked in this area because, yeah. Before I start, I just want to say that just know that before going into doing your brows that they're not going to look exactly the same. I know that my brows aren't going to be perfectly the same. This brow's a little harder to work on just because my towel is a little bald. This is my easier brow, so I'm gonna go off camera and do this one, and then I'm gonna go really in detail with you guys on this guy over here. Okay, so as you guys can see, I did do this brow. There's really not too much of a difference. Honestly, it's just darker, basically, between this brow's done and this brow isn't. What I use for my brows for a while now, I usually go for the Anastasia Dipbrow. I am in the shade medium brown. I use it mostly every single day. I use it with one of her, eyebrow brushes. So this is what I use mainly. I know a lot of people like to go in first with her pencil and then fill in with this, but I actually like to fill out probably 90% of my brows with this, and then I'll go in with her Brow Wiz in dark brown and fill in any bald spots if I have. So it's 90% this, 10% this. This one is completed and we're gonna do this one together now. So the whole thing with the dip brow is to be really gentle with it. How I use it, honestly, that's all I do. I might do that like 4 times, but that's all I do. Just a dab. So I'm gonna first start underneath my brow. I know a lot of people like to draw like a straight line like all throughout the brows, but I don't really like to do that. I like to just do it right here in the beginning. I like to start just straightening out the bottom. And once I have like, mostly it down, I don't want anything too harsh, I'll bring the product up. I like my brows, I don't like them to be harsh, and I like the first part of my brow in the front to be a lot lighter than the rest of my brow. So I'm just bringing that product up. Spooling it out a little bit. I'm gonna tap my brush in the product a little bit more. Just focus a little bit more on the bottom and keep pushing that product up. Since I do have a little bit of a bald spot right here, I'm focusing a little bit more product right there. Okay. So now, I think for now, the front of my brow is done, so I'm going to work on the middle part. Again, I'm just dabbing very lightly into the pomade, and then I'm just going to keep working on the bottom underneath and the middle part. And then I like to drag the product up. Okay, so once that's done, I'm spooling that out a little bit. And now it's time for the towel. So my problem with the towel is obviously it's a little bit thinner than what I would like, and I do have a little bit of a bald spot right here. So I'm going to thicken it up underneath and a little bit right in that spot. Again, just dabbing my brush in the product, and I'm going to go right underneath the arch and just line that out a little bit. And then I'm gonna blend that product out throughout my tail. Keep in mind I am a little bit further away from my mirror than I usually am. I'm just going to spoolie out the tail. So now that the pomade is done, I like to go in, like I mentioned, with a little bit of her Brow Wiz. I'm just going to fill in any sparse areas, basically. I'm going to have a little bit more definition to the bottom. Keep in mind when you're holding your Brow Wiz, the higher you hold it, the more darker of a line you're going to get. It's going to be a lot more natural if you hold it towards the bottom. So I recommend that. Then I'm just going to fill in this middle section, work my way to the tail. Again, darken up this side area. Also, if you ever think you're a little too sloppy with your brows, you can always just take a Q-tip and clean them up. When I'm finished all this, that's also what I like to do. So I like to just go in the front, up top, sides, underneath. I like this a little bit more than using like a concealer. I feel like that's a little bit too harsh and I don't want my brows to look that structured. Excuse me. So now that they're filled in and cleaned up, I'm going to go in with my Gimme Brow by Benefit. Love this product. When I use this though, I like to brush off any excess product because you don't want it too harsh. So then I'm just going to go through the front. You're supposed to brush your brow hairs up, but honestly, whatever your natural brow hairs go, I would recommend. Obviously, my hairs in the front, they stick up. Then they have more of an angle curve, you know, to them in the middle. So I'm just going to follow that. You know, and then brush them pretty like out and a little down on my tail. So once that's all done, that covered up pretty much all of my bald spots I had. Then I like to go in and highlight underneath my eyes. I do have a little bit of my Colourpop Lunch Money highlighter underneath. I'm going to add a little bit more. Just dab it on with my fingers. Just for a glow. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit more, and actually my favorite brow bone highlight are in the NYX Contour Palette, the two white shades. So I'm just going to take that on a shadow brush. I'm just going to mix these two colors together. And I'm just focusing that right on the arch of my eyebrow, and then I'm just dragging the color down. And I'm not really applying too much either. I don't want it to be stark white. I just want to have like a nice a glow like you see here. It's just highlighted right there. You don't want anything too much. And this also does help brighten up the eyebrow, you know, make it look a little bit more structured without being like full on, you know, like square eyebrows. So highlight's done. I like to apply my highlight before I finish it off with the clear brow gel, just because if I get any, you know, of that shadow in my brows, the brow gel will help it, you know, get rid of that basically. So now I'm going to go in with Anastasia's Clear Brow Gel. This is the only brow gel I like because it is the only one that works. Basically, my eyebrow hairs are long and they go everywhere. Basically, this really helps them. So again, with the Gimme Brow, I'm just going to brush off any excess product. I don't want too much on my brows because then they'll like really stay and look a little too crusty, you know what I'm saying? So again, just going up. And then I'm not even dipping it back in. I'm just using whatever's left for this side. Okay. Okay. so my brows are complete. I'm gonna finish my eyes and then I'll see you in a second. Alright guys, so this is the finished product, finished result. Eyebrows. Don't look at my eyeliner, it's all fucked up. I'm sure we all went through that phase in middle school when someone gave us tweezers for the first time. I overplucked my eyebrows. It happened. Yeah. Looks so naked.